Education. How would you react if there are more than 72 million children of primary school age not attending school, and 759 million adults are illiterate? Part of this includes a lack of awareness to personal education. Then how does this matter? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Karenina and I'm from Mutiara High School 1's Putih. Well, unemployment, illiteracy, and disease have become three of hardest factors that hinder access to basic education. Plus, there's a lot of risk that drop our weight stem from gender inequality and cultural identity. They find themselves marginalized from the education system and do not get benefit from learning that is important to their intellectual development. Inevitably, more than 72 million children in the world do not attend school. Many of them were forced to abandon their education due to financial or health problems. Worldwide, million children reach adulthood without the most basic skills such as how to read a product using instructions, how to build a good communication skills, or understand the reading. Imagine, in Uganda and Kenya, Tanzania, some elementary school students cannot understand simple sentences, and sadly 3 per 4 students cannot solve the problem of double-digit reduction. And of course, it becomes a global problem. You may be wondering, how does the education become a global problem and most locally? That's the question. It's simple, because it is a major global task to help in building basic education around the world. Education is not just about identity, not just about degrees, not just about whether or not someone is smart in education. But above all, it is how important education teaches us in living, increasing our prosperity sense in order to do what is expected. Imagine when I was a kid, I had a friend who were economically lacking, couldn't buy school support books, went to school and went by common feet for a 2-kilometer trip. But it wasn't worth the knowledge he got for his future because we knew maybe he would be the next Einstein. Ladies and gentlemen, education is central to human or social development. Education is beneficial for individuals and communities. Education opens up a great job opportunities to improve careers as well as gain benefit. And for countries, it helps strengthen institutions in society, encourage long-term economic growth, and reduce poverty. Sadly, education in Indonesia is not yet fully qualified, and more concern is lagging far behind. One recent statement from a study conducted by the Special Millennial Staff of President Joko Widodo Belvadevara. The quality of Indonesia education is far behind 128 years from developed countries. Now it's 2021, where the world is in the middle of technological revolution, where developed countries are competing to excel each other in the field of education. And Indonesia is still stuck in the problem of education inequality, low quality of education, and lack with developed countries. Then how can this be questioned? Let's think with logic and facts. Why does the education system still enforce teaching in schools with reduced lecture method from ancient times, even though they know more about learning strategies, how the brain works, or technique for problem solving? Why do most educational systems educate students by speaking for hours, assuming that students can remember what they have said or easily understand what they have described? Although we know there is a much better way. Most students do not learn to think critically, solve problems, or use creativity. There is presumption that memorizing facts will lead to the ability to solve complex problems. Thus, it means that students can only memorize, not understand context. In addition, there are several factors that cause the lack of quality of education in Indonesia, namely, first, the infrequent use of open question method that trains students to dare to express their opinions. The rise of cheating culture, and most concerning is the assumption that score is more important than honesty. If this condition is allowed continuously, then as a result, students tend to be passive, and learning in the classroom is less effective, which leads to lack of quality of education. Study is supposed to be enjoyable. Let's compare the education system in our country with the 3 countries with the best education system in the world, namely Finland, Denmark, and South Korea. One of them is Finland. Finland has one of the most advanced education systems in the world in reading, science, and mathematics. They decide only education by studying through games, providing free school meals, free university tuition for students from EU countries, European Economic Area, and Switzerland. Well, in order to trigger our nation, we need to push the education with the right dedication to the country. But wait. We also certainly have excellent in education in Indonesia. Okay, let's talk about President Joko Widodo. How Joko Widodo distribute Indonesia smart cards, which are proof of the country's presence. See, it is one of the things that our leader does. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a little lesson that can be learned from mathematics. If the problem is too challenging, start smaller. If you are overwhelmed, just take it a step at a time. If you find education is too difficult, then start from the easiest. If you are overwhelmed, do it from small thing, little by little. I consider education to be the most important in my life because education is an important aspect for me to survive in this competitive global world. Education leads me to become more a knowledgeable person. Maybe if there were no education, we wouldn't be able to be like now. And certainly the situation would be very different. Imagine, if Thomas Alva Edison did not do experiment on incandescent material from carbon filament to make lamps, then there would be no lighting at night. This illustrates, if you do not try to gain knowledge, maybe you will feel empty and dark in life. Now to end with a quote from Ki Hajar Dewantara, Lawan Sastra Mesti Mulia. With very knowledge leads to glory. My name is Karenina, and I would like to thank you for your time.